If you've been following along with this video series, this should look very familiar to you. I hope it does, and I hope you've had a chance to read it. But I want to call attention to something that's really gets it started. There's a quote in here, it's an ancient proverb. It says, "When the winds of change blow, some build walls, others build windmills." And we started our strategic plan by talking about these winds of change that we know are coming. And, you know, if you think about both literally and metaphorically, when the winds start blowing, we tend to kind of hunker down or try to get out of the way of the wind. And, you know, with some of these things that are happening around us, we want to build walls and keep the wind from bothering us. But the winds can be such that they're sustained for a long period of time, so that's not possible, or they're so strong that a wall can't protect you from that. And so the alternative is, how do you harness the energy? How do you harness that wind to propel you forward? And there's a couple of big changes that we know are happening in higher education around enrollment. You know, I've talked about that in previous videos about we're going to see fewer 18-year-olds, or we're going to see fewer of these 18-year-olds going to college. So the population of college students is shrinking. Well, some universities are going to, they're just going to build a wall and say, you know what, we can isolate or insulate ourselves from these factors. And you know what? Some can. The majority can't. And we're already starting to see that with some universities, that these winds of change are impacting them. Another one is in college athletics with NIL and transfer portal. And we saw universities saying, oh, this is never going to happen. I'm going to build a wall, protect myself from this wind of change. And now we're seeing that even the biggest and the best couldn't build walls strong enough to keep from being impacted. So what do? When those things happen? You have to figure out a way to harness the energy of the wind. And that's exactly what we're trying to do with our strategic plan to send. And I think you'll see that more so this year than we did last year as we just got started. Look for ways in which we are harnessing the wind.